What's up everybody? Welcome to I Speak Organized. In today's video, I'm going to be introducing you to my Puff Ball Challenge. And this is a productivity challenge that rewards your kids with fun and adventure and a sense of accomplishment. And it rewards you with kids that learn good habits, less nagging, and less responsibility to constantly be picking up after your children. What's not to love? So if you want to learn more about what this challenge involves, get to the meat of it, and learn if it's something that would be a good fit for you to try with your family, then stick around and let's get into it. My name is Melanie and I'm your professional organizer and productivity consultant. What does that even mean? If you're new to my channel, then I would like to personally welcome you to the I Speak Organized YouTube universe. My name is Melanie and I'm your professional organizer and productivity consultant. I help hardworking families and professionals find form in their space and purpose for every phase of life. If you're into all things home organizing and decluttering, as well as productivity practices and motivation techniques, then you should consider becoming a subscriber to my channel. All you have to do is hit the little circle icon of my face at the end of the video, or at any time, tap the little subscribe button down in the corner, and that will make you an official subscriber. And as always, I would be honored to have you on board. As I always mention, I am a small business owner and a mom of 2 little kids under the age of 3. So I make these YouTube videos in my spare time while my kids nap, and it is an absolute labor of love. I like to provide good quality, free content for people who want to up their game in home organization and decluttering ideas. So show me some love, hit the thumbs up, tap the little notification bell, and that way you'll be notified every time I post a new video and you won't be missing out. Alright, what is the Puffball Challenge and how does it work? So basically, it simplifies the concept of reward versus consequence, and it functions as follows. Good behavior equals filling the jar up, and bad behavior equals emptying it. And that's obviously a very oversimplified explanation of how it works. And the success of this challenge depends on some nuance and a lot of consistency. And I'm going to break all of that down for you. We're going to talk strategy based on age, learning style, and overall ability. We're going to talk about how to progress this challenge to keep it fresh. And we're going to talk about different lessons that we're going to be helping your kids learn throughout the process. So what is the point of doing something like this? And I feel like that's a question that a lot of people ask themselves. And the first reason for doing something like this is to exercise what I call your habit muscle. And you can think of this in the context of something simple like running a marathon. You obviously don't run a marathon without training first, because you run the risk of serious injury both to your body and to your pride. So you have to start at the beginning and you have to work your way up to that peak level of performance. And working on establishing good habits in the home and organization, productivity, and all of those things, it functions in very much the same way. So it requires a lot of practice and consistency. And the Puffball Challenge is a really fun way to get your kids involved in the process and create a bit of a game or a competition that teaches them a lot of valuable skills for life that will hopefully they'll be able to carry with them into adulthood. The second reason for doing something like this is that home is where a child feels the most safe, right? So we're creating an environment and activities that help foster a healthy balance between structure and creativity and family bonding. If you are still not convinced, let's break this down even further into what the Puffball Challenge specifically accomplishes for our kids. It teaches our children about goal setting. They set a goal in the future that they learn how to work towards through actionable steps to achieve something great. It teaches kids to prioritize experiences over things, so as they become adults, they don't develop unhealthy habits and attachments to clutter. It can be used in place of allowance or in addition to allowance if you use a sort of cash-in system, and it's a great way regardless to teach your kids about budgeting and finances. They learn accountability and ownership over their actions with visual representation of rewards and consequences. It fosters healthy competition or collaboration depending on what's important to you and what you want to work on with your kids. And best of all, it encourages kids to go out of their way to be kind and caring to others. Here are the materials that you need to get started. 1 large jar for each child. Puffballs to fill each jar. A large whiteboard or piece of paper to display the rewards and progress. And boom, you're ready to go. Now we're going to talk about how to get started. So your kids are going to choose an activity, and it could be a family trip, it could be movie night, it could be really anything that you all do as a family, a sort of family bonding activity. And each kid gets to choose what they want. This is where the whiteboard comes in. You write down each child's name, and underneath you write their activity, their reward, right? So there is a visual representation of the goal to be achieved, and you want to display this fairly large and in a prominent place in your household. So we're thinking the kitchen or the family room. It's somewhere that everybody can see and be reminded of what we're working towards. Next, you're going to place all of the jars next to each other in a prominent place, but where the kids can't touch them, high up, so they can see their progress and track it. Next, you're going to want to think about what types of things you want your kids to work on, what habits we're going to be improving. And the 2 main categories obviously are chores and behavior. If this is something that you don't work on a lot at home, I would advise that you start with just 1 category and maybe 1 or 2 tasks for each of your kids. Remember, we're starting out slow and working our way up to peak functionality. So don't overwhelm your kids with 10 chores they have to do every day unless they're used to that workload and already have it built into their schedule. So let's get into an example scenario here. Let's say you choose 1 chore, 1 task, that's what you want to focus on. The rule is that every kid must make their bed before they come down for breakfast each day. Once you have everything ready, the kids have come downstairs, they're eating breakfast, go and do a bed check. Let's say that one of your kids didn't make the bed that morning, and here is the beauty of this. You don't have to nag your children. Their jars are sitting there. All you have to do is reach in and make sure that they see that their puffball is being taken out as a consequence for not following through with the action that you had set for them. With a little verbal reinforcement and saying, hey, I'm taking the puffball out because you forgot to make your bed this morning. Maybe making the bed represents 2 puffballs. Let's say they've forgotten and they run back upstairs to either help you finish the task or do it, then you can give them a puffball back. So maybe they earn 1 instead of 2. This puts the responsibility and the accountability on your kids without you having to constantly remind them and pick up after them yourself. Eventually, if you keep up with this and are very consistent, your kids will start to do this and it will become a habit that you don't have to remind them about anymore. You can also use this as an opportunity to teach your kids about showing respect and care for others without being prompted to do so. So, for instance, if you overhear your kids saying something nice to a sibling or to a friend, you can run in and say, hey, I heard you say that so-and-so's hair looked really nice today. I'm gonna put a puffball in your jar for good behavior. Or let's say that you're cleaning up in the living room and your little one comes in to help you finish doing the job. And that's not necessarily something that you had on the list, but they know that they get rewarded for good behavior. So you give them a puffball in the jar as a reward for that. In this way, you're teaching kids to value respecting and caring for their environment and for each other without you having to ask them to do it first, which is another super bonus to this challenge concept. So let's talk time frame. What I recommend is doing this for 4 weeks, and that way you can track the progress. It's sort of a long journey, but not too long, and the kids are able to really get into a good rhythm and routine. Once you've gone through a successful 4-week cycle, you can either pick a new reward or you can build on it and start to add more responsibilities to the kids. You can remove the puffball aspect of it if you want to and replace it with allowance. You can use the puffballs to represent a cash-in system so that, you know, 5 puffballs equals $1 or something like that, and they can earn extra. And there's various different ways that you can work this depending upon the things that you value and what you're working on with your kids. So these are just some example scenarios to help you get started. Just remember that you will have good days and you will have bad days, and this could spark arguments from time to time with the competitive aspect, and so you can sort of pivot and work with your kids on collaborating together and working towards one goal. Perhaps there will be a tie, which means that you get to do 2 fun family activities, which is sort of a win-win, and you can figure out how you want to factor that into your schedule. You know, maybe determine a tie-breaking exercise of some kind or game or whatever, and maybe determine a number of puffballs that equals the finish line and have a big celebration, and just try to make it fun. And remember that if something goes wrong, you're still doing your kids a valuable service by teaching them the skills that they'll be able to carry with them into adulthood to become capable. All right, that is gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for sticking around to the very end and watching this video. Again, if you got value out of this, please consider subscribing to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below if you have any ideas or if you have questions about how to work the Puffball Challenge for you and your family. And as always, you can get a hold of me via DM on Instagram at @ISpeakOrganized, and that's a great way to get in touch. I hope you all have a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.